returning to my Life in Sketches prompt book. It's been a while since I've done this. I feel like I don't take enough time to just sit down and draw, and this book is a great way to practice my skills and draw things that I wouldn't normally think of drawing. We're going to be doing 2 of the prompts today, day 8 and day 9. I do try and go in order in the book, even though I don't do a prompt every single day. The prompt for day 8 is the first thing that comes to your mind when you close your eyes. I did cheat on this prompt because the first thing that came to my mind when I closed my eyes was just like blackness. And I didn't want it to be so random, so I interpreted the prompt a little bit differently. When I think of closing my eyes, I think about sleeping. So I wanted my drawing to have something to do with sleep. And I also wanted to draw something cute, specifically an animal. I chose an animal at random, so you guys can see me drawing this like alpaca looking guy. Thinking back about it, it would have been so much smarter to draw a sheep because, you count sheep when you're trying to fall asleep, but I just went with what I first thought of because that's kind of the idea of the prompt, and I think he turned out really cute and fluffy, and he looks so cozy, all tucked up in his bed like that. I know this drawing doesn't really have much depth to it, it's just a silly cartoon, but that's kind of the fun point of doing these prompts too, is just to loosen up and practice drawing, because like I said, after I get off work some days, I don't really feel like doing anything other than lazing around, maybe watching TV, and I don't want to waste my talents. I want to constantly improve, and I want to make something of it, and I think this is a good way to actually get me practicing, and posting these videos also helps me feel like I'm doing something with my talents. The outlining process is done. All I really have left to do is just shade in the piece, and this is where it really comes to life. I think if you have a simple drawing and you add just a little bit of shading, it can really elevate it. I'd add some color, but I really want this series to be just loose and quick, just a good way for me to practice drawing. I don't want to put the pressure on myself that I have to make an amazing, full color, detailed piece every single time. That's not what I'm trying to get at with this series. This summer, I really want to focus more on my art and uploading more YouTube videos just to get my name out there. And hopefully I'll get started on quite a few different creative projects I've been dying to work on. So here's the first finished illustration, and it's time to get on to day 9's prompt. The prompt is an important part of your weekly routine. Okay, this is another prompt that I thought was kind of a little bit boring, but maybe that's just because my life is just a little bit boring. When I think of a weekly routine, I think of cleaning. That's what I think of, because everybody cleans on a weekly basis, or at least if you own a house or you live in a house, chances are you're going to be cleaning it every week to keep up with everything. I was like, how am I going to make cleaning look creative and interesting? So I figured just do what I do best, draw a silly cartoon. I decided that I was going to draw myself sleeping in a hamper filled with clothes. Laundry is my biggest weakness, and every week I fold and put away the laundry. Yes, I only fold and put away laundry on a weekly basis, and it's not a good idea because usually I have a mountain of clothes by the end of the week. So this drawing actually is pretty realistic. I apologize for the way I filmed this video. My hand's kind of covering up a lot of the details, but it is so hard to film an art video and be able to show everything and have good lighting, and I wish I was a professional, but I'm not. So thank you to those of you who stick around, even when the quality's not the best. To be honest with you guys, I don't know how we wind up with so many clothes at the end of the week that are dirty and need to be cleaned and folded and put away, because, Neil's uniforms now are washed at work, and I rewear clothes a lot because I don't get that dirty during the day. So really, it's a mystery to me how there's always stacks and stacks of clothes by the end of the week. I don't know what's going to happen if we ever have kids one day, because I don't think I'll be able to keep up with it. Here's a quick artist tip. If you're making a pile of something, just draw a few detailed objects and then put a bunch of squiggles and some lines, and there you go. It looks like you have a really detailed pile of clothing or food or whatever it is that you're stacking up. Now I'm starting on the left-hand side, and I drew a vacuum cleaner. Vacuuming is another one of my weaknesses, but I actually do vacuum about every few days. With the amount of dog hair that we have from our 2 dogs that are clearly outdoor breed dogs, cattle dogs. Our house is coated in dog fur constantly. And to keep from living, breathing, and eating their fur, I have to sweep a lot. I also drew a mop in a mop bucket, and this mop handle, oh my gosh, it was giving me fits, and we're not going to talk about how phallic it looks. We're going to go ahead and just erase it and start over and pretend that never happened, okay? Okay. Next up, we have the dirty dishes. Are there any women out there that I'm giving nightmares to? Dishes really aren't that bad, but I'm really particular about how I do dishes. I think every time after you use a bowl or a plate or a utensil, right after you're finished eating, you should rinse it off to where it's pretty much completely clean, and then I set them off to the side. We do not have a dishwasher, so I hand wash our dishes, and I basically think that they should be rinsed off clean enough to where when I actually wash them, that's basically just for sanitization. Now, my husband doesn't always get the memo. He's actually the absolute worst about it because sometimes he'll drink chocolate milk and he'll leave the chocolate milk in the glass for days on end. If you have ever popped open the top of a moldy milk cup, just know I feel your pain. And here is the last piece all finished. I really hope you guys enjoyed drawing with me.